Anything looking back at it now you would have done different about that process, that whole decision, quick decision to just jump the ship, move back in with your parents?
That's a tough question. I think that if I think strategically, like very much like what could I have done differently, in one sense, yes, I see that there could have been more careful decisions to be made of starting more, instead of investing all the money and building the product, of starting more with a service, which is what we ultimately became, and learning more before diving right into the product. So that is one I would do different, but I don't sit around regretting it. That's for sure.
Yeah, good for you. All right, one last question I got to ask, because you were how old when this happened?
When I quit, I was 29.
29. And you said you invested $100,000 of your own money into this product.
Yeah.
How did a 29-year-old save up 100 grand to invest?
I was a really good sales rep. I was a top sales rep for, from, I started working the day I graduated college, and had no gaps. And it was tough times when I graduated 2009.
Mhm.
But I was, the best sales rep on all those teams early on. So they kept moving me up to better sales jobs, before I found my way to Axial, which is like the tech B2B world where, the venture capital money was flowing. There's a lot of money to be made. And I was good at closing deals. So doing that for the 8 or 9 years since graduation, I had a pretty nice savings set aside.
Good for you. What separated you from other salespeople? Like, what made you number one?
Well, I will say I wasn't the number one sales rep in my most recent position. I was one of the top sales reps, because it was a really impressive sales team, at that most recent company. But I'd say earlier on, those more entry level jobs that I started at, I mean, the first thing is I just wanted it more. Like, it was what I wanted to be doing. I graduated from college with not very good grades, a lot of debt, like a lot of people, you know, my parents, no kind of family money supporting me. And I was living in New York and I wanted to survive. And I also just cared a lot. Like I knew I wanted to be in, I didn't know if I wanted to stay in sales forever, but I wanted to be in business. I wanted to do a lot of things. So I just cared way more than the people around me, at the first few jobs. Like the first professional job I was at, it was, people were just, it was not a great job looking back. Like the company did not treat us well. And most people complained a lot and kind of went through the motions. Some people tried hard, but I treated it like, I was playing game seven and in the playoffs, and success was my only option. And so the first couple of years, I don't know what sort of skills it was, maybe just some natural ability to speak well enough, and just wanting it a lot more was what carried me early on.
Man, I love that. All right, cool. So now you're in with your parents. You've got the product built. You've got your first six clients with this platform. What shifted from was the next step shifting it from that technology platform to what you guys are doing now, or was there something else?
Well, we got to 10 clients after the first year, 10 to 12. Um, and then the second year, I was really, the product was functional, but incredibly simple. And I didn't have, more hundreds of thousands of dollars to throw at building the product. So my focus really shifted to trying to raise money, thinking I would raise a seed round and bring in a full-time engineer, or perhaps a partner to build out the product.